Welcome back to ESA's Summer 21. We are here to raise money for
И вот
Save the
начинается у
Children.
нас
Links to
Бэтмен.
donate can be found just below the stream. We'd also like to thank Twitch and ViewSonic for sponsoring this
В этой
event. Now,
категории
it's time for Lasertrap
будем
and his
входить
run of
на
Lego Batman the
фриплей.
video game on the Nintendo DS. Lasertrap,
И один,
take
наверное,
it
из
away.
ключевых таких будет баг.
Thank you very much.
Баг будет
Hey
это
everyone, my name on Twitch
клип
is
через бомбу,
Lasertrap,
с помощью
and I
которого мы
press
будем
buttons
проходить
and I
через
go
стены.
fast. Today we'll be doing that with Lego Batman on a real DS. I'm not playing on emulator, but I look at the monitor while I play, and not the DS. So this is very different to the console or PC version, so I don't imagine too many people will know this. There's a lot of really cool tricks in the speedrun. This is free play. We're only doing the villain side. And so a little quick thing about free play is that you can choose one character to go with your party, and then the game automatically fills up the rest of your party with characters that, well, they fit the rest of the abilities that you might need to complete the levels. So time will begin when the level loads in, and that will be, I'll give you a countdown from 4 because that works for the loads. So, let's see, and 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so Mad Hatter was my choice there. It doesn't say Mad Hatter because I'm playing an Italian. Why? Because I'm playing an Italian. Nothing to do with speed. So I jump off that container, and I actually make it up to the ledge to go fast.
Здесь зафригивается на контейнер.
That's a small skip there, but
Пытается
then we take advantage of a gliding
запрыгнуть на другую
character
платформу, чтобы быстро
to get
скипнуть
into
этот
the bank
уровень. У меня
early.
получилось с первого раза.
So villain mode is about the villains sort of breaking in, and then the hero mode levels, the heroes go and
Переключается на
fight the villains. It's
свечка,
pretty simple, right?
прилетает и
So we're
переходит в
going to a
следующую
bank, and we're
локацию.
using Mad Hatter to do a glitch that will be used so much in this run.
Вот
where
первый
you can
глич,
clip
который
through
он
doors
ставит
just
бомбу
like
и
that.
клипает себя через стену.
I'll explain more about that in a moment. Because here is a pretty simple block push. And I just realized I never turned on extras this run. So, you know, let's take a little bit of time to turn on extras. So door clips, which we'll see a lot of in this run, are very easy with Mad Hatter, who can... Well, he has a setup. He has short legs, so when he places a bomb, he walks further back than other characters. And you can use a setup with a slight diagonal buffer to make sure you can instantly clip through the door every time. Now right here, I want to place a bomb right at the edge of that $sign to blow up the container on that security camera and skip getting seen.
Здесь он
What I
уничтожает эту
attempted to
камеру,
do there
чтобы скипнуть
was
кат-сцену.
character swap at the top of the ladder to shorten an animation, but I ended up wasting a bit more time and dying on the lasers. Let's see if I can get the fast laser tank. Nope. This is a lovely beginning to this run. Let's see, I'm a little bit off here. This is a very strange cycle. I'm not used to this. I'm going to wait here, we'll go slow, and eventually, I promise we will go fast in this run. So here's another example of that door clip. Slight diagonal buffer, and right through we go. There we go. That went right. So a mechanic that's used a lot in this game is you get 3 blue bricks and you put them into a machine, which is something that we'll see here. And the game likes to use it a lot, but actually this is the only time in the entire run with 12 levels that I will actually place all 3 bricks into the machine. I can use a character swap to instantly place the bricks and save a little bit of time on that. So right now, I'm just going to the sides of the room, and it's pretty simple. That's where the blue bricks are. Place them down in the machine like that. Over to the left side, there's another one. These red and black objects are basically indicating that they need to be demolished with a bomb. They're called demolition canisters, but we just call them bombs. It's a lot easier that way. And imagine saying demolition canister clip every time when you could just say a bomb clip. And there we go, into the vault, except it's Bruce Wayne instead of Two-Face and Riddler. Onwards. I'm going backwards in the level order for Chapter 1 here. That's just to save on time. Now in this level I'm going to pick Batman. There is a specific glitch that only works with Batman. It does not work with Bruce Wayne. It does not work with Batman Classic. It only works with regular Batman. But first of all, this is a grapple clip. just like that. You can line yourself up with the edge of the hook, where you should usually use a grapple pad to zip up there with a character with a double jump and grapple ability. But in a few cases, you can just line yourself up on the edge and then zip up, as you saw a couple moments ago. Now, as I just break into the gardens like this, we're coming up on another sideways clip, which is quite difficult. So let's see how this goes. I think that should be good as long as I do a turnaround like that. Ooh, it clipped me back out. That was a little mean. This sideways clip is always a little finicky. There we go.
Здесь не получается сделать клип с первого раза.
And then I can use a double jump
Получается
character
второго.
like Batman to get up on the front of these pipes. And when I get over here, there is an entrance below this trapdoor, I guess. But Batman's attacks make it so that you can just do those uppercuts and I guess just barely touch the loading zone beneath that. Here I'm going to clip in, just like before. Since I don't have Mad Hatter, I have to do a slightly different setup. You may have seen this earlier in this level, but I am going to character swap off of these switches. I can't do it instantly, unlike in Star Wars on the DS. I have to wait until I actually see these switches being pulled down. Now that vine that grows, or whatever that plant is, you're meant to get rid of the toxic gas first, but I guess since we clip in to the left side first, we can water it, and all it needs is water. It doesn't really need you to get rid of the gas. We'll clip through that door, or not, fine. We'll do that way instead. Or we'll just wait for Killer Croc. Thank you, Croc.
Получается, мне
Final
сделать
room,
клип,
just fly
приходится
across to the
дождаться
side. Boom.
Киллер Крока, чтобы просто по дефолту
It looks
открыть
like
дверь.
our partner's not going to help us out, so we're going to have to do a pretty tricky clip here. I don't know what makes this door trickier than others, but it seems like if you don't get through instantly, you don't get through the door at all. And now it's just not going to let me through at all. There we go. That's probably 5th hardest level in the run. If I made a video on the top 5 hardest levels in this run, which I wouldn't, but if I did, that would appear most likely at number 5. Let's see. I want to be Hatter for this level. Ice Cream Factory is pretty short. This is where Mr. Freeze breaks into the ice cream factory and they go and steal a freeze gun. But our free play run of this level is fairly short, and it's got a couple of clips just like that. And then we glide through. Now, extras are used in this run, so not all characters should be able to pass through that freeze gas. I can't character swap. That happens sometimes. But not all characters should be able to pass through this frozen gas. Since extras are allowed in the free play run, and I can turn invincibility on, any character can go through. And that's actually really helpful because changing characters really lags this game, and it's quite annoying. Sometimes the game can even prevent you from changing characters for what seems like absolutely no reason. I guess it's just overloaded. And then we clip through here. See, there's a lot of clips. And this conveniently, even though only one character goes through, both characters are actually taken through that door, which is very convenient since we need both characters at the end to step on those buttons and gain access to that freeze gun.
Заканчивается
So next
еще
up,
один уровень.
the first level of villain mode is one of the most difficult, I would say, because the door clips in this level are for some reason very different. So I picked Penguin because of another glide skip, but I actually usually don't want Hatter here. I'm going to do a quick setup. Let's see if that goes through. I got shot, so I don't know. Yeah, that was too close. That looks like it'll be good. And through we go. I don't know why that one's different, but it is, so I have to do that setup which I came up with to get through. Now here, I use the Penguin to glide with his umbrella and skip over that fence. That skips an entire room in, like, I guess a sewer? I got shot, so that means my positioning would be a bit off for that clip. And through we go again. Now, I guess the story here, the villains want to break into the bank, and ordinarily they do actually blow up this door with what they get from the blue brick machines, but I place a bomb. That door is a little bit thicker than the others, so once I'm into the wall slightly, I use the bomb's hitbox to slide me through that door. It's quite cool. But again, it's not quite as simple as the others. It's a little bit deceiving. A quick character swap off that switch to get some extra ground. And then at the end, I guess the secret to robbing a bank is just to be a villain and use a villain panel. Well, there you go. We are moving on now to Chapter 2.
Закончили мы первую
Now,
главу.
the first level of Chapter
Теперь мы
2 was
переходим на
actually the
вторую.
first level before we even found any door clips with the bombs. This was the first level where we had a skip in every single room. Now, the skip we had in the first room is no longer used because we have these bomb clips. We used to get up on some of these crates early and do a skip that saved about 20 seconds, but in 2020, we got this new tech that it makes it look easy, although I assure you, it's still not free. You do have to make a fair amount of effort to clip with bombs consistently. In this room, use a double jump character, and these brown boxes will sort of just clip you upwards. Pretty nifty. Finish it off with, you guessed it, another bomb clip. That might be too close to the door. Let's see. I guessed correctly. It was too close to the door. That might be too far from the door. Yeah. We're on a roll with guesses, but we're not on a roll with actually making it through. There we go. So in this level, you may have noticed I selected Classic Batman, because with this blue brick machine that I'm skipping, I'm going to go through the ceiling with Batman's uppercut. Swap to a glide
Здесь мы
character, and then
уходим в
glide out
первый
of bounds
autobounce
and skip
в
that
этой игре.
entire room. A very big skip. And one last skip to finish it off. I'm going to jump on these crates and get around to this roof and into where the level ends. So next up, rooftops. This is actually a really long level. I believe it's the longest one in the run right now. And a lot of people would call it one of the trickiest levels in the run, but that's just because there's always time save here. Really, this level isn't that difficult, except for one trick. It does contain the most inconsistent trick in the run. We'll see how that goes when we get there. Let's have another grapple clip here. Line myself up just underneath it. And through we go. Longest level in the run, but there actually are no door clips unless you count that door's hitbox just pushing me through as it opens as a door clip. This room is a pretty long puzzle, I guess. Could you even call it a puzzle? But there's going to be a lot of pressing buttons and pulling switches in an optimal order. This is going to be our first point in the run. If you have anything to read.
Oh, do I? I've got a $20 anonymous donation with no comment, followed up by a $10 donation from Guildhall that says, "Thanks ESA runners and staff for a great week." Man, I can't read today. For a great week of runs for a great cause. And both of those donations have gone towards an upcoming incentive, which is the Mario Party 7 Solo Cruise bonus game of Sega Bass Fishing. Basically, if that gets met, Fuzziness is going to showcase Sega Bass Fishing right after Mario Party 7, which will be just absolutely shenanigans. So I'd love to see that incentive get met.
Oh, perfect. And that's also perfect timing on this as well. So we have a small event cutscene here where the SWAT comes down. And I'm going to give myself a time for a few hydrations. Remember to drink some water. This game is a little strange because when you play villain mode, it is encouraging violence against authorities like this for children, so maybe a little bit questionable. But, you know, I do what I have to do in a speedrun. Now, this bridge that's coming out, it looks like you might be able to glide across that gap, but actually it's slightly too far. Now, those who are familiar with speedruns on PC and console might know that there is an extended gliding glitch, to help you go farther. And, you know, if we could use it, maybe we could cross this gap early. But unfortunately, that does not work on DS. Now here is the really inconsistent trick in the run. I'm using Penguin's jump attack.
В этом моменте надо взять пингвина и
There is a
в
rough
прыжке делать
setup,
атаки, чтобы
but
забраться наверх.
we're just going to try again and again. All right,
Провалиться
sixth try.
сквозь текстуры.
Actually not too bad. We're in there. Why that works, I can't fully explain it to you, but there's I guess a seam in the floor, and that attack is pretty useful for helping us get through. I was just waiting for a second for my partner to follow. And that's actually another good thing to mention. Most LEGO games are sort of intended as a co-op thing. To be honest, this game like barely has multiplayer. But even when you're not playing in multiplayer, there's an AI partner following around. Now these lasers on the front, they're not real. I guess I can just glide through them. It's quite funny how in a level where in story mode you have access to the penguin who can glide, they didn't properly code the hitboxes there, or they just didn't even bother to give them a hitbox on the front. So as I am getting a crystal between more of, I guess, myself, here's a neat optimization. While this cutscene is happening, I went back through the travel chute to save a couple seconds on that animation. Using advantage of characters at the right time to get all these switches and stuff. Not much to explain. It might look a little bit confusing, but really there's not too much to explain. It's just using the right character at the right time, knowing who has what ability, and taking advantage of the fact that you don't actually have to face characters to... You don't have to face your partner to swap to them. Does that make sense? I have no idea what I'm saying half the time right now. That's okay. But there's the crystal. Catwoman will be very happy. And that level is done. Even though I've made a lot of mistakes, I feel like this is flying by right now. So, I mean, at least that's a good feeling. This is the sewers. And we're back to picking Mad Hatter to help us with the consistent clips. Because there are a few of them here. And the first one is right at the very beginning. This skips a blue brick machine. Fancy that. So now I'm going to use a double jump to get up there slightly earlier than intended, and jump up that container to get up to a later area of the room. Just a small sequence break, really. Oop. I didn't really have a good character to use for that. Preferably, I would use a character that can move while shooting a projectile so that I don't have to waste too much time, like stopping and punching as I did with Killer Croc there. I could have switched to Joker and used Razor cards, but the Razor cards are very finicky in this version. And a double jump to grab the ladder at a higher point. Clip through this wall, because that's actually a door. And we're in the final room, where we need to make a very daring mistake. I said mistake instead of escape. Alright, let's go, words. We need to make a very daring escape with Catwoman. And by doing that, I guess, shoot this target, and then handles come out of the wall where you can use a super strength character like Killer Croc. And while the police are shooting at me, I'll free Catwoman, and that ends the level.
Спасаем женщину-кошку и заканчиваем уровень.
And on to what another level that would rank in the top 5 hardest in this run. Well, you know, only 5 out of 12, but I'm trying to go for something here. It starts off with our favorite trick in this run, a door clip, or a bomb clip. I'm pretty back and forth on which one I say. And then, this grapple clip that I'm about to do is a little bit more difficult than others for some reason. I think it's to do with the height it's at, actually. There we go. So this is a trick that I call Glidey McGlideface. I don't know why, but it's a not very pleasant glide. I need to double jump up here, and then stand on this wall, which isn't very easy to get on. And then this glide is also a little tighter, so you have to start your glide earlier than you would think as well to get further. And now we're up here. Another bomb clip. Boom. This room is... there's not much to say about it, although there's a funny mode in this game, or not funny, there's a fun mode in this game that has a funny glitch in this level. It's called Villain Hunt, and the villain in this level that you're looking is hiding behind the door just at the bottom. And if you just glide by that door and get close enough, the level ends without you actually seeing the villain you're looking for. But right now, I have to get to 4 switches at the basically 4 corners of the room, except it's not the, you know, I'm not going down to another switch. I'm actually going up high above to get the other switches, and then that will open the door. Not a lot to say. Again, I don't know if my explanation made any sense. Let's get a quick donation if there is any.
There is. In fact, it's a pretty... boy, I can't speak either today. It's a doozy. It's a $50 anonymous donation. So thank you so much for your generosity. That brings us ever so closer to our next major milestone.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Now, actually, something I have to be wary of in this room as I fall from the top of the room is which characters might have a full stun animation. Because some characters, when they fall from heights, will pause, and the Penguin is not one of them, so I know Penguin is a safe character to drop from the top of that room with. Let's go. All right. So in the end of this room, we're in the Arctic world, and I can tell you a bit about the story. I guess Penguin, this is where Penguin meets penguins, and he has more penguins that are robotic, and they may or may not blow up and destroy the world. The story cutscenes in this game are actually not even cutscenes. If you're familiar with me doing the LEGO Star Wars runs, the complete saga, and how amazing the animations are, well, they figured out in this game that actually those animations weren't any good, so they literally went with slideshows. Although I believe the way they advertised it was, oh, it's more like the comic books, so it's fun, right? But I never really understood what was happening in the story. And one more bomb clip to end the level off. And actually that ends off Chapter 2 in Villain Mode. There's only 3 chapters in this game.
Закачиваем в очередной левел с помощью клипа.
I haven't actually mentioned why I didn't go into level 3 of either Chapter 2 or 1, and I won't be going into level 3 of Chapter 3 either. That's because they are vehicle levels, and this is a free play speedrun. Vehicle levels are not available in free play. You can only play them in story mode, so this speedrun skips them. Going into the chemical factory here. Not really worth going for this bomb clip. It doesn't save any time.
Здесь мы
A bit of a tight
стреляем
jump
замок,
where I
потому
get
что
onto these
если
containers and
клип
then jump around the edge.
мы
First
делаем
try,
клип,
that's
то
nice.
не сэкономим там
Ahead of
никакого
the
времени.
split in my PB, although I'm quite positive that I'm not ahead of PB right now. Let's see if this can be a good clip. Nice, instant clip without hazard. We love to see that. Hasn't happened enough in this run, really. And again, I picked Classic Batman to go through the ceiling where this blue brick machine is. So, in the level where I
Здесь мы
picked
берем
regular Batman
Бэтмена
earlier,
и
where I had to go through the
проходим
floor,
через стенку и запрыгиваем
that only
сразу
works
наверх.
with regular Batman. Now, these ceiling clips work with all clones of Batman, but, oh, my controller, or my control pad on my DS went the wrong way. I'll finish that thought in a moment. Here's a clip where I get on top of that pipe. It's actually very tricky, so I'm quite impressed that everything in this level is going first try. I don't remember what I was even saying now. Oh yes, ceiling clips with Batman. You can do it with all clones of Batman, but with Batman Classic or Bruce Wayne, it's much faster and like easier to get through the ceiling for what seems like absolutely no reason. That was too close to the door. This might also be too close
Также
to the door, but
такая
let's try
одна
it.
из новых фишек, что
And I'm through.
классический Бэтмен и Брюс Уэйн более
All right,
быстрее
so this
бегают,
is
чем
really,
обычные
really fun
персонажи.
buttons, and you are matching the color of the container with the button on the ground, and you do it 4 times, and the sound effects are really loud compared to the rest of the game. I gotta do that 3 more times, so is there anything else to read, Nordic?
Absolutely. I can just let people know
Здесь
that,
есть такие
we're here to
небольшие
raise money for Save the
поставить
Children.
цвета надо,
And if you're unaware, Save the
чтобы
Children
пройти дальше.
trains frontline health workers in communities to help diagnose and treat common childhood illnesses like pneumonia, diarrhea, malaria, and newborn sepsis. And that empowers them to provide services that are proven to reduce child deaths. On top of that, they work with local and national governments to help strengthen policies and systems so that no child dies from a preventable cause. And again, we've raised over $35,000 so far for this amazing charity. So thank you all for your generosity and keep those donations coming in.
Yes, thank you so much. This is a really great cause, and I actually work at a summer
Всё
camp
на
right
уровне
now.
заканчивается.
I work with children a lot. I've been, I was thinking about going into a teaching career, and yeah, I mean, I just really like the cause. I'm really happy to be supporting it back here at ESA. So thank you so much for doing this. Right now, we're going into the fairgrounds. The shortest level in the run. The first level in Batman DS free play to be under a minute long. I don't know if I'll do that today, but it's pretty simple. Most of that is thanks to our door clips. We're gonna do another one. Who knew, right? This is a really chill game to run. I would definitely recommend it. I don't know if I would
Очередной
recommend this game casually.
клип у
It's
нас.
very questionable. But as a speedrun, if you can play it, set it up, try it out. And there we go. Skipped another pretty long blue brick segment with that. Now I just need to wait for my partner to come step on the button with me. Dude, you were right there. Silly partner. And we skip fighting the police again. Probably a good thing in reality. And clip right through to the end of the level. And that's Fairgrounds done. Now, the chemical factory, the level previous, was probably the second hardest level in the run. This is the hardest, and it comes right at the end. There are a lot of tricks that can go wrong, a lot of tricks that we don't really see anywhere else in this run, and some that we do. Starting off with some glides, this one isn't too difficult. The second one, a little bit more deceiving, but we made it over no problem. Of course I did, right? So now as we go up here, we're going to clip through the roof again. A little bit different and thankfully easier than in the level where I was using the penguin, but alright, not bad. Just stop at the edge of that roof and we'll go through.
Моментно провалимся
So these
сквозь
clips
пол,
are quite different
попадаем в другую часть
because I can
локации.
pull that switch without fully clipping through the gate, but now I need to clip back out, which actually it's easier than a
Здесь
regular clip,
не надо
but
открывать эти ворота, можно
when
с
I was
помощью
starting
бомбы
out and I didn't realize it was
сделать клип
as
и
easy as
нажать
just
на
jumping into the
рычаг.
bomb and going back and forth.
Также оттуда
It
спокойно
was quite
можно ходить.
frustrating. But now as I clip into this second one, I can swap to my partner to get me out of the room quicker. For some reason, the door that we open with those switches can't be clipped through. We don't exactly know why we can't clip through all doors, but that is the case. And then our next really big trick is coming up right here. We do a clip through this gate, but that's not the end of the room. I now have to do a blind clip, and I'm hoping that's right. I got through. All right. I did another door clip blind, and it was first try.
Здесь
I
довольно
love how quickly
тяжелый
this level
момент,
is
потому
going.
что
That makes
не
me
видно,
a
что
lot
там за
happier.
стеной. Приходится найти дверь вслепую, можно
I tell you,
сказать.
after the first level of this run, I was thinking, wow, this is going to be a 34-minute run. But now I'm feeling better about it. Because after I clip through this door, once again skipping another blue brick machine, there's one more level to go. This has been a blast. I'm really happy to finally get LEGO Batman DS on a bigger stage. And Mad Hatter again. Let's go. This is Gotham Cathedral, a level where we go up quite a lot, because cathedrals are tall, I guess. There's a lot of using grapple pads and these acrobat pads, which I haven't really explained a lot, but all you really need to know is... Oh, I need to be the right character right now. All you really need to know is some characters have abilities to use these pads, and I know which characters they are. So a bit of a skip here. I push this block slightly outwards, and there is a platform up here which I can jump to from that. And this saves maybe 30 seconds, honestly.
Если
And we
еще
can
один
get through this
скип,
door
мы
early.
толкаем ящик в эту точку и просто запрыгиваем сразу наверх.
This room is simple. Beat up policeman. I don't like it, but the run requires it. This is villain mode after all. And I do actually think villain mode is a more fun run than hero mode in this game. It's also shorter. But well, again, there is the possibility that you run both hero and villain in one run. I currently have a 1:18 in the free play hero and villain run, and a 29 in villain and a 47 in hero for free play. Oops, I want to be Riddler, not Alfred. So this is the big climb, the stair room. It's fairly self-explanatory. A little bit of an anticlimax, really, this room. But like, the final level of hero is Gotham Cathedral, and they use more or less the same layouts. Both hero and villain go through this exact same climb. And it's 5 grapple pads except for this one, like, acrobat pad here. My inputs are not quite going to where I want them to be. That's what happens when you have a bunch of functions on exactly the same button. Oh well. This door is not one that I figured out how to clip through yet, so I just wait for my partner to pull the switches and then we go through. And we enter the final room of the run. So, I guess get ready on time.
Здесь у нас последняя комната в ране.
You're meant to do things on both sides of this room, but I'm only going to do the things on the left side. As I go up here, pull these switches. And then a helicopter comes and drops a handy block for me. And you're meant to push 2 blocks in before you get up to the place I'm about to be. But what the game doesn't realize is that you can use this block and just jump up here and press this button early and then activate these switches, which will conveniently end the level. And time is going to be coming up right after this. And 2 and 1 and time. All right. Not so bad in the end.
Вот и конец нашей игры.
Probably like 31 minutes or so. But I would really like to thank you all for watching. Quick shout out list. Shemcat, who I recently took this record from. We're a really good competition in Star Wars as well. The recent additions to this community, Shinboy, Alexu, and Nice Fighter. Jinjairu, who was like an original glitch hunter for this game. And Nuxmaster, who runs this as well. So do we have the final time on that?
We do. It was a 31:05.
Low 31. Pretty good, pretty good. I'm glad it turned out that way after the mishaps in the very first level. But yes, thank you so much for having me. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. You know where to find me on Twitch, I hope. The URL is more or less right there. Enjoy the rest of the marathon. Thank you so much.
And thank you, Lasertrap. We're going to take a brief intermission, and when we come back, we are going to have Primal Light being run by Verts505. So stick around, enjoy the ad break, jam out to some music, and we'll be back before you know it.
Have you checked out
Следующая игра у нас будет Primal
speedrunstore.com
Light.
yet?